Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinics, with physicians, physical therapists, and trainers who treat sports and performance-related injuries, with locations across the valley. More information on services and locations at stalphonsus.org/stay active.
Public media is under immediate threat. I'm General Manager Tom Michael from Boise State Public Radio. In the coming days, the U.S. Senate is expected to vote on a rescission request from the White House, which wants to claw back funds that were already approved by Congress. This station is one of hundreds across the country that would lose out. You can let your U.S. Senator know directly that you value funding for public radio. Or visit protectmypublicmedia.org.
It's The Connector for Wednesday, July 16th. Good morning. I'm Troy Oppie. Today, the state of Idaho cannot, at least yet, ask patients with HIV to provide their legal status. The Glens Ferry man is in custody, accused of impersonating a Boise police officer. The mayor of Butte City in East Idaho is charged with a misdemeanor after witnesses say he threatened them with a gun. And more reverberations from the Everyone is Welcome Here poster controversy in the West Ada School District. All that and more on The Connector, Idaho Daily News from Boise State Public Radio News. The mayor of Butte City in East Idaho was charged with misdemeanor exhibition or use of a deadly weapon after banging his loaded but still holstered handgun during a recent city council meeting. East Idaho News reports Butte County sheriffs were called to the town of 80 people when folks inside a city council meeting said Mayor Kevin Turner had threatened them with a gun. Turner told deputies he banged the holstered gun on the table while firing a city council member and was keeping order in the meeting. Police reports indicate Turner said, quote, "I can do whatever I want to do. I'm the mayor," unquote. Although audio from the meeting has not been released, Turner declined to comment. Butte City is a small community just outside Arco. The Coeur d'Alene Fire Department says injured firefighter Dave Tisdall has been transferred to a specialty hospital in Colorado to continue his recovery. Tisdall and two other firefighters were shot June 29th while responding to a wildfire start on Canfield Mountain, just north of town. The two others did not survive the attack. Tisdall is credited with warning other firefighters to stay away. He was shot in the back and suffered a collapsed lung, shattered ribs, and spinal swelling, according to the department, and he's been unable to move his legs since, but wiggled his toes on his own Sunday for the first time since the shooting. Video of his transfer yesterday showed him smiling and giving a thumbs up to cheering supporters as he was wheeled out of the Spokane hospital where he's been receiving care. The future of Ammon Bundy's bankruptcy case is now in the hands of a federal judge. James Dawson reports on the latest hearing held yesterday.
Anti-government activist and former Idaho gubernatorial candidate Ammon Bundy has been trying to discharge a $52 million civil judgment through bankruptcy since last summer. An Idaho jury found Bundy repeatedly defamed St. Luke's health system in 2023, saying staffers were accessories to child traffickers. That includes when Child Protective Services took a close friend's grandson to the hospital for a wellness check over his parents' objections. St. Luke's lead attorney Eric Stidham wants the judgment to stand, saying Bundy should be held responsible for his actions.
The maliciousness and willfulness, those issues were decided in the case, and those are exactly the same issues that we are urging here today.
Bundy, who still has a $250,000 arrest warrant in Ada County related to the case, disputes the hospital's claims.
There's never been a greater lie than the one Mr. Stidham is claiming now. And that is that I advocated for baby sires to get money and fame.
The judge overseeing the case says he'll rule on St. Luke's request to decide the case without a trial over the coming weeks. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
A 19-year-old Glens Ferry man is facing felony forgery and impersonating an officer charges. The Elmore County Sheriff says they requested Boise Police July 4th to contact Eddie Reynolds as part of an investigation. BPD found a police uniform hanging in a car at the residence where they also found Reynolds and later found multiple forged documents. Investigators in Elmore County say Reynolds was seen in Glens Ferry wearing a Boise police uniform and publicly claimed to be an officer. He's previously also claimed to be a firefighter and an EMT, according to the news release. Anyone with information or other potential victims are asked to contact Elmore County deputies. More reverberations from the Everyone is Welcome Here poster controversy in the West Ada School District. That district this week adopted a new policy that governs classroom displays, which aligns with a new state law limiting acceptable displays to U.S. and state flags and bans flags or banners that promote political, religious, or ideological viewpoints. West Ada's policy, which was already under routine review before the controversy this spring, requires any displays to be content neutral. Idaho Ed News reports that would not include topics of current intense public argument or topics likely to incite disruption or distraction in the classroom. Building principals, along with district administrators and attorneys, will get the final say on what is content neutral and what is not, according to Ed News. West Ada trustee Renee Ozuna was the only no vote for the updated policy, saying that the new policy falls short of, quote, clearly affirming our support for the many unique backgrounds that make up our West Ada community, unquote. A judge has extended a temporary block on a law preventing the state of Idaho from asking patients with HIV to prove their legal status. Julie Luqueta has more.
The state receives assistance through the Ryan White program, a federal service that provides treatment to low-income patients who cannot afford HIV care. It also exempts recipients from having to show immigration status. But a new Idaho law prohibits state funds from being used to benefit people without legal documentation. At a hearing Tuesday, representatives for the plaintiffs, 5 HIV patients and their doctor, argued state law cannot preempt federal mandates to prevent communicable diseases. Main plaintiff and family physician Abby Davids cares for patients living with HIV in Idaho. Speaking after the hearing, she said without medication, HIV is universally fatal to patients.
They will get very sick and they will have a sort of slow, torturous progression to AIDS and then eventually death without medications.
She says treating all HIV patients, regardless of their immigration status, and preventing them from transmitting the highly communicable disease is a matter of public health.
It's disheartening to me that we're putting sort of this value statement on care that is absolutely life-saving and absolutely necessary and that we can very easily provide.
The defendants argued the federal exemptions are not mandates, and states can choose additional eligibility requirements. The extended restraining order prevents the law from being enforced until the judge issues a decision on a preliminary injunction in the coming weeks. Julie Luqueta, Boise State Public Radio News.
After the hearing, the judge granted provisional class action status to the lawsuit, blocking the state law from applying to all immigrants in the state. The FBI and U.S. Marshals have arrested 9 Spokane demonstrators for actions during anti-immigration enforcement protests last month. As Spokane Public Radio's Owen Henderson reports, one of their fathers says the agents deployed what he calls Gestapo tactics.
Bajan Mavawala II and 8 other Spokaneites have been arrested by the FBI and U.S. Marshals. Mavawala II's father, also named Bajan Mavawala, happened to be with his son when a group of agents came to arrest him early Tuesday morning. He says the agents refused to show a warrant.
You're supposed to know what you're supposed to be getting arrested for. They're supposed to inform you of your rights. They did not do that.
The elder Mavawala is a former military police officer. He says the tactics used in the arrest were meant to intimidate.
They don't care about the protests. Their goal is to scare people. Their goal is to get people compliant.
The U.S. District Attorney's Office for Eastern Washington says Mavawala II and the 8 other arrestees have all been charged for their attempts to block federal agents from taking 2 asylum seekers from Spokane to the immigration detention facility in Tacoma. I'm Owen Henderson reporting.
Neither the U.S. Marshals nor the FBI have responded to a request for comment. The city of McCall is reminding drone operators of their responsibilities, especially around the uncontrolled airspace near the McCall airport. The city says this past weekend a private drone was spotted flying above sensitive areas, including smoke jumper aircraft, the helibase, and tanker base ramp. No aircraft operations were disrupted. The drone operator fled when confronted near the Sheep Bridge. Penalties for illegal drone activity can be fines up to $70,000 and potential jail time. That's your Connector for this Wednesday morning. Join us again on Thursday. James Dawson will be here tomorrow. Our news director is Sasha Woodruff. Our digital strategy manager is Lacey Daly. Our general manager is Tom Michael. I'm Troy Oppie. Have a great day.
These days, there's so much news, it can be hard to keep up with what it all means for you, your family, and your community. The Consider This podcast from NPR features our award-winning journalism. 6 days a week, we bring you a deep dive on a news story and provide the context and analysis that helps you make sense of the news. We get behind the headlines. We get to the truth. Listen to the Consider This podcast from NPR.